Alberta's Premier panning Ottawa's plan to green Canada's grid.
They are disastrously uninformed and totally disconnected from reality.
The draft Clean Electricity Law, an attempt to get to net zero by 2035. A big problem for Alberta, which relies on natural gas for 60% of its power. Despite a boom in clean energy, gas still needed when the wind isn't blowing and the sun isn't shining. Something the Premier says won't change by 2035.
Our province would be left at risk of blackouts and brownouts at the mercy of minus 30-degree deep freezes during the coldest months of the winter.
The independent operator of Alberta's grid echoed the government's message just an hour earlier.
The provincial grid will need sufficient dispatchable generation to meet the cold, dark, windless winter nights that we have in this province.
But in a statement, the federal minister of the Environment wrote any claim that building a clean electricity grid will lead to blackouts is misinformation designed to inflame, not inform, urging the regulator to publicly release its analysis that underlies these claims. Well, this economist wants to see the math too, but he agrees getting Alberta's grid to net zero by 2035 will be challenging.
From my point of view, it's really always been incumbent on the province and the feds to meet to discuss the required changes to the regulation to make it more workable.
Alberta clashing with Ottawa over energy policy is nothing new. The province wants the greening of Canada's grid pushed to 2050. Alberta's premier ready to defy the federal government with untested legislation aimed at limiting federal overreach.
We're preparing a Sovereignty Act motion, and I'm hoping we don't have to use it. That's why we're at the table having these negotiations.
This public campaign, a sign that negotiations on the future of Canada's electricity grid are heating up. Aaron Collins, CBC News, Calgary.